Hey, beautiful peeps. Welcome to this special holiday episode of MARTI GEE ON, where we explore the power of words, emotions, and the stories we live by. I'm your host, MARTI G, and today we're diving into this third installment of Use Your Words series. Okay, yeah, it's the third installment. I said I was going to save the third installment for something. I forgot what I was saving it for, so gotta get it in order because my brain works with gaps. No, it doesn't. So this is the third installment of the Use Your Word series, and our word is holiday drugs. Those are our words today. Holiday drugs. Now, I know what you're thinking. No, we're not talking about the kind you find at parties or in back alleys or whatever the case. I'm talking about the pharmaceutical type, the prescription drugs. Things that I'm familiar with because these are the ones that also affect your emotional state of mind during the holidays. Now, I told you, and maybe you forgot, but I used to be a pharmaceutical rep, and I actually worked in this field of drugs. Now, I'm not an expert, but I know a little bit about how they work with me. But I'm going to talk about these today, my friends, because these emotional meds taken during this season, they affect how the emotions flood us, give us a warm hug, sometimes how these things make us feel like we're getting hit by a tidal wave. So let's get into it. So the holidays, they're like this wild emotional cocktail. One moment you're glowing with joy, and the next you're stressed because you forgot to buy your aunt their favorite fruitcake gift or this something like that. Or maybe you had to go to a party that you weren't ready to go to, but your spouse or your friends or girlfriends expected you to be there. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, we've all been through it. Here's the thing. Our brains are like a little chemist or a bartender, if you want to say a little cocktail, because they're mixing up a series of holiday drugs in our brains. Dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. Let's talk about these. Dopamine, that's the good stuff. That's what that feel-good thing, it's the reward hormone. Every time you check something off your list of holiday things, I got done shopping, I made my pie, I did blah, 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 you get caught up on a list, you bought your tree, whatever the case may be. You're going to get that dopamine hit like, I feel good. The next one is serotonin. Serotonin, the mood stabilizer hormone. This is like the stabilizer, kind of like the equalizer. Make sure that, it's like you feel peaceful, you feel calm. This is like having a cup of hot cocoa by the fire. This like nice warm feeling, just like I'm home, I'm safe, everything's okay. I can just relax and I can just chill. And they're steady. It just hangs out. Then there's the norepinephrine. This is the fight or flight one. This will let you know that you're either going to be rushing around through a crowded store, trying to juggle and pack everything into a schedule that you just don't have all the time, and you've got way too many things on your list, or you're going to a party that there's no way you're going to be comfortable with, and you're just going to leave the minute you get there. And you just can't deal with all that energy coming in your face, but it keeps you alert, but it can also leave you frazzled if you're not regulated. If there's too much, not enough, the cocktail's wrong, you're just not going to want to stay. So how do you manage it all? Well, that brings me to my point when I said this is drugs, holiday drugs. Check your meds. Check your meds. The emotional meds, now let's be clear, like I said, I'm not a pharmacist, I'm not a doctor, that's why I'm not going to talk a lot about dosage and what kinds to take. Talk about my stuff, okay? So when it comes to dosage, make sure that you're not self-medicating, okay? If anything, make sure you're going right to what you're being prescribed. That is really important. If you're giving yourself too much during the hustle or doing or not enough, stick with what you're supposed to be taking. That's really important. Mechanism of action. Now, that's a lot of words. Like, what is mechanism of action? Does that mean it's like working on something? Yes, straight up. When it comes to these mood drugs, there's two ways they work, either immediately or slowly over the course of time. That is really truly up to you and your doctor to determine what you need, okay? Like for me, for example, I am on Effexor XR, and I need to be on the steady release because I like to be consistently at this state on a regular basis because XR has a norepinephrine and serotonin mix. So it makes me feel good and it keeps me from freaking out too much. But it's got to be at a steady state because if it's not, well then, I'm a freak. I'm a mess. So just make sure that you have the right one, and then talk to the pros. Don't hesitate to contact your doctor or your pharmacist. Make sure everything's a check. Because remember, it's not just a thing, a pill you're popping. The holidays are really, really, really hard for people. I know they are for me. And why I bring this up and why this hit me as a podcast real quick for the holidays is this has happened to me. I just got a new psychiatrist. And I had been up and down the treatment scale of Effexor XR since the medication was released because, one, I was a rep for it when it first was released. But over the last, I'd say 8 to 9 months, I was switched to a new doctor. And even though I had finally gotten to a dose where I was comfortable with, and that was 150 milligrams, I was fine. But just for the last 8, 9 months, I've been kind of like a freak because unlike most people, I take mine at night versus in the morning. I take it at night. That way I'm just ready to go the next morning. But every morning, I still wasn't really ready to go. It's just I'm still kind of up and down. But when I met with my psychiatrist, she asked me flat out, she's like, well, is there any reason why you're not taking the extended release anymore? I'm like, aren't I taking the extended release? I know they gave me tablets, but I thought because it was generic, it was still extended release. Like, oh no, that's the immediate release. So here's what's been happening to me. If you've known me or you run into me or see me freaking out or whatever the case may be, I take my Effexor at night. By the time I wake up in the morning, guess what? It's already been released and half-life right out of my system. Now, half-life is like how long it stays in your body and how long to your next dose. So you stay in a steady state of just being in control. Well, by the time I wake up, I've already processed those meds out of my system. And I'm a freak for the rest of the day, up and down, up and down, up and down, until I take them again at night where I'm going to bed and then I'm fine going to sleep. Yeah. That's been my life for the last 8 months. I didn't even realize it till I talked to my psychiatrist 3 days ago. And I know the difference because I just got my extended release yesterday. I took one last night before I went to work and came and went to bed. And I woke up this morning feeling the way I used to, ready to go for the day. So very important. Check your meds. Talk to your people. Now, before I wrap it up, I want to say happy holidays and all that. This is a really diverse season, and sometimes holidays are really sensitive. I'm going to actually refer to my good friend Christina. She did a post on Facebook. And yes, Christina, I am straight legit ripping you off right now. She posted, when someone says happy holidays instead of Merry Christmas, remember, they're not doing it because of political correctness. They do it out of respect. From the 20th of November to January 24th, there are at least 14 different religious holidays. So when somebody says happy holidays to you, thank them because they don't know what you believe. It's called respect, not a war on Christmas. And I thought that was amazing. I love that because it takes that whole argument away of, well, we're not saying Merry Christmas anymore. Well, I think we should be more inclusive and think about other people's stuff as well. So words to live by, Xtina. So thank you very much. So as you navigate this holiday season, remember, in closing, check your emotional meds, stay mindful of your highs and lows, and most important, be gentle with yourself. Life's a marathon, not a sprint. And the holidays are just one beautiful leg race. Thanks for hanging out with me today on Marty Gee On. Be sure to take care of yourself, spread joy where you can, and find the humor in if all else fails, just laugh. That's what I do. Stay well, stay present, and remember, use your words wisely. And have a happy Native American Heritage Pearl Harbor Ascension of Abdu El Baha St. Andrew's Feast Day and Winter Solstice. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, New Year, and Festivus for the rest of us. I'll see you next time. Peace out.